I've got two words for you: survival mode. This is why you feel so stuck. This is why everybody feels so stuck. Because when we're trapped in survival mode, we're suffocating the one part of us that knows how to get out. It's the soul. So this is a video about everything I've learned in the last decade from doing inner work, a lot of plant medicine, a lot more meditation, a lot of yoga, going to India several times, and I continue to do this inner work because it's a full-time job. I actually believe that's the reason why we're here. We came down here to experience this reality and all of the fantastic things that exist here, nature and so on, but also to help humanity transcend this program, this fear-based program that keeps us trapped in survival mode. And I think there is no better thing or purpose you can do or you can have than transcending this program that lives inside of you that we call survival mode. Yes, this is a big problem in the world. The world does not support us transcending this. It doesn't want us to transcend this. It functions because we're stuck in survival mode. We're meant to feel stuck. You're meant to feel trapped in a financial system. The financial system is working perfectly as it is. It is actually designed to keep us in fear, on the treadmill, busy, 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 distracted, so we don't look inward, see what's actually trapping us is inside of us, and then transcend that, because then we wouldn't need the systems and structures, and the machine wouldn't function the way it does, and the world wouldn't go around the way it does. Everything would just fall apart. And actually that's what's happening now. All these systems that are in that lower level of consciousness, that fear-based, separation-based level of consciousness, are collapsing, and it's going to be messy. And how we can maybe smooth that process is firstly to transcend it within ourselves. So that's what this video is about. And as I said, this is a long and ongoing journey for me, but I've learned a thing or two. And if there's one thing I know, it's that if you stay trapped in survival mode and a victim to your own life and to the world, you're not going to have a good time. It's going to be a total waste of your life energy. So we don't want to do that. We all know the situation in the world. So I have a beehive nearby, and I was up there earlier on, and I was just thinking, I wonder if the worker bee, when he starts his day and he's going out to collect pollen to make honey, if he thinks, oh, he's so worried and stressed that he needs to collect enough pollen just for himself, just so he can survive. He doesn't think like that. They probably don't think anyway. They're just wired to be actually intelligent and not hijacked like a lot of humanity, like we have been. But he is doing his job, collecting his pollen at ease for the hive, for the benefit of the hive. So this whole thing that we've become separate from nature and each other has made us all need to, or believe we need to, fend for ourselves. And that keeps us trapped in fear, because when we're afraid of our survival, which is very strong, which lives in our physiology, in our mental conditioning, of course, but actually in the cells of our body from generations, because there was a time when we did need to survive. But now we're surviving. You're here, I'm here, we're alive, we're well fed, aren't we? So we're pretty, the survival needs have been pretty much taken care of. Yet we have billionaires in the world hoarding all the honey who don't feel they have enough. So what the fuck is going on? Obviously we have a problem. And the problem, as I said, is inside. It's like in the Matrix when Neo, he's plugged into that little pod of gook and goo, and there's a thing stuck in the back of his head and it needs to get pulled out. All of that programming, that survival programming, that fear, is in our bodies, it's in the cells, it's handed down to us from generations. It's not pretty stuff. And we have to, our job is to let that come up, feel it, and purge it out. And it purges out in many ways: tears and puke if you do plant medicine, and basically uncomfortable feelings need to be felt, and it kind of works itself out over time. You've got to get with the program, because that is our real roles as light workers here, is to do this work. Why would we want to do this? To be free, number one, to be free of the survival conditioning. To find our purpose, to remember why we're here, to enjoy ourselves, to not live in fear, to not be stressed, to be healthy. And it all intertwines. This deprogramming or this healing journey, you could call it the healing journey, you could call it a spiritual awakening, you could call it the hero's journey. There's so many different names for this process and angles to it. It doesn't really matter what the angles are. It's about being who you are ultimately, beyond the conditioning. And sadly, we've largely forgotten what that is because we've been so programmed. And it just, it's par for the course on planet Earth. You forget who you are, you get programmed. Blah, blah. Most people live their lives that way until the end, and then they die and they go, oh fuck, I forgot who I was. But that's not you because you're watching this video. So we want to remember who we are while we're here so we can remember why we're here and be who we are so we can transform this survival programming that is destroying the planet, destroying humanity's place on the planet, destroying a lot of mental health and physical health, and all the repercussions of that are, beyond belief. Astronomical, wars, blah, 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 blah. We all know it, we all see it. We're all so sick of it now, we're tuning it out because we don't even want to know. And maybe that's a mistake or maybe that's necessary. I'm not so sure. But the whole thing is that we need to transcend this programming inside of ourselves. How we do that is, first of all, stage one. Okay? Realize there's a problem. Realize that the conditioning needs to be ironed out and healed inside of you. Realize to do any of that, we need to get quiet. So meditation, probably number one. You need to get quiet. You need to turn off the distraction, turn off the noise for long enough that you start to hear the inner voice inside you, because that is the only one ultimately that's going to guide you to where you need to be, because nobody else knows that. Not all the YouTubers, not me, not anybody. Nobody knows your path better than your higher self, your inner self, your soul, you, the real you. Nobody knows, only you. And how are you going to listen to that you? You have to get quiet, otherwise you're never going to hear it. And it's probably given up. It's probably like, oh, this guy is never going to fucking listen to me. But once it starts seeing you do the work, the breadcrumbs there's a path will open up, and that path will take you back to yourself. But that's going to take time. You've got to get with the program here about the length of time that's going to take. It could take years. It has taken me years. For some people, maybe it happens, boom, Kundalini awakening, and bang, you're here. Soul is fully online. You know why you're here. That's a very rare thing in my experience, and for most people I've seen it, it's years. For me, I would say, as a dream once taught me, it takes about 3 to 10 years for this to unfold, and I would say that's pretty accurate in my experience. So there's no rush, but at the same time, we better get started. So step one, fundamentally, getting quiet, getting back in touch with your intuition. Call it your spirit, call it your higher self, call it God. It is a telephone to God, really, if you ask me. But you can call it whatever you like. It's your inner self, it's your divine nature, it's that intelligence that a bee has that makes bees know what to do naturally. And swallows return, all the intelligence in nature. They just naturally have it. We have that too. Yeah, we have to get quiet, and then we'll find out what it is, and we can listen to it. And then the journey begins, because that higher self will take you down a long and weaving road, down into all the patterns that need to be ironed out, the traumas, the ancestral wounds. I shouldn't go into detail because it might scare you, but you don't need to worry about that. All you need to worry about is allowing those feelings and memories and uncomfortable emotions to come up so you can feel them and heal them. Simple as that. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't think about it. Just do it. And all you need to do is allow the space for that to happen. So this might require turning your whole life upside down, which kind of happened to me. But that's a story for another time. And really, it's simple, but time and space seems to be the one thing we're lacking. And why? Because we're all trapped in survival mode. Oh my God, it's a catch-22. Okay, get the priorities straight and realize that you're not going to go anywhere until you do this work. You're not going to really align with your highest timeline unless you do this work. So, I don't know, it's your choice. see the way the world is, and make an intelligent decision for yourself. And if you have kids and if you have family and if you have a lot of things that you're entangled with, I get it. I also have these things. But you can do your best. You can do your best with what you have, because that's all you can do. And when you meet life halfway, life is going to come back and meet you, because it's intelligent beyond our understanding. So once we have that foundation laid and some balance, and we've got, some determination to keep showing up and doing the inner work and doing the meditating and non-doing the meditating, whatever you want to say, quietening your mind, allowing yourself to speak to yourself. You're not schizophrenic, don't worry. It's okay. There is a voice inside you, and it's not that monkey in your head. All of that shit inside your head is not even you. It's society's bullcrap. Whatever's floating around in the ether makes its way into your mind and clutters it up. And when you're watching 10 TikToks in a minute, that noise in your head isn't helping that. That's for sure. So, okay, next, you just keep going. You keep going, you keep going, and you keep doing the work. And eventually, you see a light at the end of the tunnel. You start to get comfortable with the idea that you don't need to be chasing all these things that society is telling you to chase. The goods, the conveniences, the comforts, the clothes, the bling. You don't need all of that crap. Some of it's lovely, because I do like comforts and convenience myself. Some of it's lovely, but we don't need it. We need very, very little. We need healthy food. Do you have healthy food? Clean drinking water. Talk to your water. You can program that water with love and gratitude, and it will function differently inside you, because when you emanate positive emotions to water, it changes the molecular structure of the water, and it goes down into your being, and you get healthier. And this happens over time. Okay, you may need a bit of a detox along the way. I needed about close to 40 ayahuasca ceremonies over the space of 2 years. I won't go into the details now, but it was an intense time of healing, and there was a lot of purging, I will say. So you get to the light at the end of the tunnel, and what do I mean by the light? You are the light. The light at the end of the tunnel is you. You are the light, and the dark should be afraid of you. But when your aura is all shot to pieces, the dark, the negative thoughts, the negative beliefs, the inner critic can beat the shit out of you. I get it. I've had the worst inner critic my whole life. I've got beaten up, put down, bullied, but it compares nothing to the beaten up and putting down that I did to myself. So I get it. But when you start to heal, you create a protective bubble around yourself, and you remember who you are, and all of that garbage that you were firing at yourself anyway gets blocked away. And be gone, I say. That's what happens. And then you see the light at the end of the tunnel is you, and you have a present for you. You will guide yourself to your highest timeline, to the things you really want, your heart's desires, because by now you'll have conditioned all of the bullshit desires that YouTube thumbnails are telling you that you need to make 10 blah 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 blah, you need to do this and you need to do that crap to be happy. This whole industry survives on you being fed bullshit that only your higher self can really give you what your heart desires. When you get quiet, you put your hand on your heart and you ask your heart, what does it need? Your heart might have a lot of pain in it. It might have a lot of hurt. So it might need to process that first before it can tell you what it even needs to even trust you again, because you're the one that did it to your heart in the first place through your, being asleep and all that. Not your fault, but that's what happened, probably. Now, I did need to take a breather. I'm condensing a lot of information. You may need to watch this again. You'll probably forget it all. Don't worry. It's fine. All you need to do is commit, be sincere. Life will work itself out. Keep talking to yourself. Keep talking to God, your higher self, inside your heart. It'll show you the way. It will tell you why you're here. And then you start creating, imagining, being compassionate, being grateful, being joyful at the abundance that Mother Nature has given us, the magic that is in the natural world. We don't have to pay for any of this. I set up a beehive, right? And I was going to have to buy bees, and I got a bit of honeycomb from a friend, from an acquaintance at a nearby school, a beekeeper, and put it in. And bees just came after the week. It's like, holy crap, magic. Nature provides. When we're guided by this higher intelligence, not artificial intelligence, do not talk to that for your coaching, okay? If you need some coaching, I can help you out. If you're still disconnected from your higher self, that's fine. I can help you out there. So that's it. That's pretty much it. Listen to your quieten your mind. Listen to yourself. Follow it. It'll take everything you've got. Courage, intelligence, compassion, gratitude, all the qualities that make you human and irreplaceable. It will take everything you've got. It's not simple. It sounds simple. It's not easy. That's what I meant to say. So transcending survival mode is the most important thing we need to do right now on planet Earth. And as a part of that, I created a platform that's going to hopefully help accelerate that process. It's called SoulLink. You can join my community on SoulLink. You can pay zero. You can pay whatever you like. But it's for the change makers. It's for the builders of a new Earth. Conscious change makers that have transcended survival mode to a high enough degree to where financial gain is not the priority. We all love the money. We love the honey. That's fine. We can keep it rolling in. But if it's the priority, how the fuck can we transcend survival mode? Tell me that. I can't, can we? So that's why my community is pay as you want, pay as you can afford. If you've got big bucks, you pay those big bucks if you're getting the value. So check that out below and let's get building. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video. If you have any comments, if you want me to go into any detail, because this is a big topic, I'm condensing 10 years into a mishmash of a messy YouTube video here. And I have a lot of lessons learned, but if you have any specific comments or questions, leave them in the comments and I'll do a video on them. So thanks for listening this far. You must really want to transcend survival mode. And you'll get there. Don't worry. It's possible. It is very possible.